Here we go. Gather on in. Gather on in. Ooh, Shelly. Popping you on screen. Welcome. Yeah, it's been a while, sister. Where you been? Where you been? Let's gather in some family. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody wants that McAfee. Go away. Alrighty. Welcome back to another weekly rendition of Quantum Readings for the Collective with Galactic Tarot, aka Alexander Mazzone, broadcasting live from Sedona, Arizona. Let's bring that microphone a little bit closer. How's everybody doing? Yeah, Galactic updates. Gonna have to talk about boundaries again. It's being tested right now more than ever. Accountability and boundaries, and the healing that is required from us all. Let's pop this up a little bit. The healing that's required from us all, and by the healing that's required from us all, I mean whatever it is that you're healing in this present moment or what you're working on. I see it come through as people's throat chakra. Sybil, freaking love you. Sybil, I'm still trying to get in touch with you. I know this isn't the time. It's like live. I'm just like live, like, hey, Sybil, I'm trying to get in touch with you. But yeah, the boundaries. So it's like, whoever's healing their throat chakra, it's coming up in that manner of like you're really having to speak now. It's now at the point where it could be, what would be the word? It could be interfering with life purpose stuff. Because people are looking at the reality like we're still in the same situation where it was, it's timelines and we have these forks in the road, and I'm seeing us, and I know I keep bringing this up, but I'm seeing us in this place where fluctuation is possible. So what Alexander is working on, if you want a galactic update from my own point of view, is working on being able to be in a resonance of higher than ninth dimensional, multi-dimensional awareness and integration in the present moment with our, whether you call it quantum entanglement or with our simultaneous integration of multiple dimensions in the present moment. And it's like, I know a lot of people hear me talk about this, and like I was at the Sacred Union retreat yesterday, which was small, intimate, but so epic. Sisters, if you're watching this, freaking love you. Yeah, it was awesome. It was very, very lovely. But that's what I was gathering was like stuff I was saying in one room. I go into the opposite room and people are saying the exact same thing. So like a lot of us are processing how to speak and when to speak, and by how I mean obviously doing it with love. But what I'm gathering is fury is still being grouped together with rage and anger, and it's not. It's like a mother's fury is like can be labeled as anger and rage and she's losing, she's gone crazy, whatever it is, and it's not. It's absolutely not. And that doesn't mean it has to come through with fury. But if we're feeling things, if we're knowing things, and if we're not speaking our truth, this is interfering for some right now. And with this multi-dimensional integration, this is what I was getting at, what I was just saying yesterday. And I've been saying this for years, mind you, but I saw it like hit a lot of people in the crowd, like, oh my God. Looking at it like the Native Americans would see a totem pole. So it's like full integration of the totem pole to what level you, the viewer, have integrated that many chakras in this present moment. So it's like, the whole focus in spirituality for years was just like these 7 chakras. When, here at Team Light, we've been telling you for the better half of a decade, you have way more than 7 chakras. And this is just a known fact throughout all of spirituality at this point, I would say. But it's like to activate that all multidimensionally, you're having this multidimensional access and you're existing in these places simultaneously, regardless of if you know what's going on in these other dimensions. Why? So some people might say in the comments, why would I want this, Alexander? What's the benefit? And this is the way I would like to look at it. What does Spirit say to me? What goes up must go round. So yes, having a bigger field and us having the ability for the family, these 12 tribes or whatever you consider us, to swallow this planet with light and love. Not light and love. Love in light. Correction. To swallow this planet with love in light. And another benefit is like, have you ever seen a hawk mess with an eagle? So it's like the biggest version of us, whether it's a dragon or an angel or a seraphim or whatever your biggest, most powerful aspect that you have integrated in the suit, think of that wingspan. Regardless if we're talking about 2 wings, 4 wings, 6 wings, regardless, when you have a larger wingspan, so obviously if what goes up must go round, then that's going to encase a larger wingspan. And these things that are affecting some, like that's my question to those people that are dealing with whatever you're dealing with as you watch this broadcast, is what you're dealing with could quite well be something that couldn't even or wouldn't even want to come into your field if the bigger wingspan was there. Because it's like I say, a finch is not going to mess with an eagle, and so on and so forth, or a dragon, or a bigger dragon, or a bigger phoenix, or a bigger seraphim. So integration, my family, activation. And if you are in the place where you're working on being able to see, take signs from the universe, take signs from out-of-state license plate, like Alexander does, if you will, or however you're speaking with spirit in a lucid manner in the waking life. Find those messages for, am I doing this? Because I'm not just telling you to go activate 500 chakra. I will also be honest with everybody and let you know there were times I went up on Airport Vortex and I activated a new band of, say, 7 chakra, and the next day it was quite intense. And the day after that, I was like, this is a bit much. So I wouldn't shut down all 7 that I just opened up, but I would like temporarily close 6 of them. And it's kind of like, almost like preparing the plumbing. So it's like maybe like the old copper pipes of the house can't handle more water flow, to look at it in that manner. But we can acclimate and we can evolve to being able to getting ready for this stuff. So it's almost like the equivalent of turning it on and turning it off and turning it on and turning it off until we're ready for that next step. But yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody that's out there has an answer. And the last thing I'd like to add before I start dropping cards is like, a little food for thought that's been coming up with myself because of a download I got about 2 months ago. Before I got the download, it was anxiety, plain and simple. And after I sat with the anxiety and I went out, like I was telling you guys last week, I went out into the roots and I went out into the planet and like just filled the planet with roots on whatever simulation or dimension I was in. And I was like non-existent. I was like this little teeny tiny thing on top, and I was just inside the planet. When I came back to my body, and the anxiety was gone, mind you, I had a information waiting for me, whether it was an upload or a download or whatever it was. There was information waiting for me there. And what this led me to believe is, or at least sit with, and if you will, the vibration and the energetics of forgetting something. We have a good idea. We go run to get the piece of paper and the pen. And like on that one time in life, think back on the past where you were like, oh, it's such a good idea. You go and run and get the paper, and then you go to write it down. You're like, oh my God, what is it? From this present moment, go back to that present moment, if you will, and sit in that moment, and you'll see that this almost lost download and this anxiety seems and feels very familiar to when we're forgetting something. So instead of it being you're forgetting something, it's like spirit telling you all the stars are aligned. Everything's perfect right now for you to get this upload or this download, whatever you consider them. And you're about to like not remember something, which feels very similar to forgetting something. Did I shut off the mic? I tapped the top of it. No, I didn't. It can feel very similar is what I'm getting at. Regardless of if what Alexander is saying right now is accurate or accurate to you, if you go with that realm of thinking, you're taking the power out of anxiety. You're adding power to the opposite of anxiety, and you having the ability to more quickly dissipate these lower dimensional vibrations. And that's being what I would consider a multidimensional or a mental alchemist, to turn, less than worthy vibration to a worthy vibration, and just say, okay, well, here's random anxiety. So therefore information must be coming. So what work do I have to do to get this not real vibration that has no reason of being here, to, instead of dissolving it and just getting rid of it, like, because it's like in one realm of thinking, like I did tell you how to use like the root system and what I've been doing from time to time and what I've been doing for years with like going out and just kind of like having Gaia help you transmute it. There's also a way you can transmute it within the self with this belief structure of actually there's information coming to me right now, and spirit doesn't want me to miss this information that is very important now. And this, do you see the magic I'm talking about right now? Like, do you see what I almost said putting up. So there's two things I'd like to add. First of all, the word of the week. Not the word of the week. The word of the strong. The word of the strong. The new word I found these moments, because I know people marvelous, tremendous, sovereign, awesome words. Better than awesome. Awesome's not the best word. Magnificent. So cent, CENT, means 100. Magnus is the original word from Latin, but to magnify. It literally says magnify cent, magnify times 100. So there you go. You have another word to explain to the people in your life. Yes, tremendous too. Thank you, Catherine. Tremendous. Nature will put us back together. And you just brought up the second thing I wanted to talk about, Catherine. I was sharing some information with some spiritual family last night about what I was doing when things were very extreme. So many of us, like with tremendous, with nature putting us back together, or us allowing nature, when we're with all the elements, fire, air, water, earth, the sun's on the skin, the feet are in the water, we're in the sand, we're feeling the wind on the skin. Like, this is where, if you look back on the past, I would imagine when you started feeling better and when you started actually getting out there and going through whatever Saturn returns or whatever miracle was taking place that we might have looked at as a trauma back then, we would get out into nature. So one of the things I shared was, like, obviously going to the beach. We all know that one. But if you have a creek near you and you have a safe ability to get out to a rock, always ask your doctor before going out on a rock in the middle of the river or creek, to lay down. Okay, so I'll go this way. All right. So the stream's going this way. So as the stream goes this way, you'd find a rock that you could fit your body on and lay this way, and have your feet have the water go over your body. There is no faster way I've ever cleared in my life than that. And I know it's like one of those things that I used to say a few years ago, and I haven't talked about in a while. But if you kind of shoot out your crown and you have the water go over you, it's like whatever emotions are stored in the heart, the throat, the third eye, it just literally goes right out. It's like a full energetic flush. And depending on the frequency of the water, you might actually feel a wind. So it's not just water energy, but to think about the water as emotions and governing emotions, and think about our emotions as water as well. These elements are basically working together as one and the same. And it's like, I don't care what vibration you lay down on that rock in, it's by far the fastest you can transform your reality and be like, well, that mustn't have been real because it's gone. And yeah, I just share that with everybody, depending on what you're going on. Find your little sacred spot that you can get out to safely. And yeah, just make the right decision. Don't go out into a raging like part of the Mississippi River if that's the only place that you have near you. But if you have a safe creek to do this, I would very much so suggest it. Even if you're a beach person, finding a place, if there is one, where you can do this, or maybe setting up some sort of in a weaker, like more of a brook or a smaller, maybe setting up some sort of lawn chair that you can do this on. If you don't have the proper rock or proper place to do this, the beach will just do it. Veronique is asking, what about the beach? Yes, the beach will just get it done, but it will not, for me at least. Maybe if you keep going under the water and you have waves go over you, that can really help. But it's like the wave is going over your field and it's going over the stream. When we actually align our antenna with, boom, what's going up, and depending on, like, what if what you're processing is 30 chakra up and you don't realize that? To have the energetics of the water going, boom, all the way up your, whatever your entire stream is, it's going to carry it right out. It's like there's a clog in the drain, or a clog in the drain pipe, and you just force a ton of water down it to push the clog out. So let's get into the cards. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know as a collective family for the message for the next 7 days. Thank you for being here with me family. Home beach. Magnificent. Jeannie. Oh, Diana. Oh, Diana. Yesterday, I was talking about Halloween with somebody, and Diana's birthday is on Halloween. And she pops up in my head, and within an hour, she messages me. Jimmy! Ohio is in the house. Ah, okay. Oh, look at what are we doing? What are we doing? Pop that extra camera on, bro. Say hello to Groot, everybody. Hello to Groot, everybody. Okay. Ba-boom. Here we go. Boom in the shot. Let's move all this. Let's move all this. Let's move all this. Let's move all that. There we go. There's the weekly cards for the gods. Let's do this. All right. Choice. There's a choice. Sunday, Monday, halfway through Tuesday, there's a choice. Normally this, not normally, you know, in moments of old, in the previous months, this was representing timelines. Now it's representing a choice for us, because the choice is, are you focused on the past? So spiritually, Spirit is letting us know some of us are moving forward while looking backwards. And maybe this is work for us all to do, but it's like something that it's like, it could be 1% for some, it could be 100% for others. But Spirit is wanting us to look at this choice of thinking about and processing the past, because what happened in the past and what took place in the past is in this moment inconsequential, in bad, sequence, in a bad sequence. I like that word. Inconsequential. Okay. So being focused in this present moment. Okay. That's where the power is. It's like, are there things from the past where we have powers from the past? Absolutely, because the past doesn't exist. So something we have, even if it was 500 lifetimes ago, we have it right now. So Spirit wants to just make sure that what we're thinking about from the past is a choice and not, let me say this properly, to make sure that the decisions you're making in this present moment are not being limited by a reality that you're no longer in. The things that was like, oh, whenever I would do this in the past, that would happen. Oh, whenever I'd sign a contract in the past during Mercury retrograde, this would happen. None of that matters anymore. None of that matters anymore. Once you decide and internalize the reality that you were in is not the reality you're in now. And one of the things that amplifies that knowledge for me, because that's just something that is law for me, is the Mandela effects. Like these Mandela effects that are happening and then they're going to a different place and then they're going somewhere else. Like these like triple blossoming and quadruple blossoming, whether they're Mandela effects that you notice as the individual or they're known things, when we see these shifts taking place, like it's not the devil, it's not CERN, it's nothing dark about it. These are signs for me, at least, that I left here to realize I'm in a different reality. And this is why sometimes like somebody might tell you, no, you said this. And you're like, what are they talking about? Like, was I distracted or on my phone or something? Like, there's no way I said that. And like, this is why it's beneficial to not even argue. Like to just literally just like be like, okay, I'll have to sit with that. And that's why I've been using a lot of those words that I've been saying recently, which this is pretty deep. At least for some, it will be. It takes time to get the feeling, okay, the feeling that we have, and then create thoughts about it and have those thoughts govern the words that are going to come out of our mouth. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 5 days. So sitting with it, depending on how loaded the energy is, just having the ability to look at whoever it is, our loved one, our business partner, our family member, our parent, and just say, I need a minute with that, or I need some time, but I just know I'll be thinking about this. I do care. It's not that I don't care. I'm not equipped in this moment to think about this, because it's like at the end of the day, like even if you or I are the ones that are pushing this, like, I want to talk about this right now. How long did you spend thinking about that? So it's not fair for us or them to put us on the spot and say, let's talk about X, Y, or Z, when you might have been thinking about A, B, or C for a day, 2 days, 2 months, 2 years. Like, who knows how loaded the thing is that you're finally saying to this person is, or they're saying to you. So I can see why it can be like if somebody really has to work up and they're working on their throat and they finally are saying this thing to you, it could be triggering for them to hear you're not ready to talk about it. But here we go right into the middle of these upcoming days. Okay. King of Cups, the immovable object of love in the physical, and making a choice, making the right decision. This is the only card in the tarot that shows a decision. Okay. So it's like you can have the people leave your life feeling great or feeling better or feeling good as they came into it, or we can say these things that make people feel sad and hurt them. Okay, so this is the only card, like I was saying, that really shows a choice. The other cards that show choices are showing the lack thereof of a choice. This card shows you're going to make a choice and pay attention. So halfway through Tuesday, all of Wednesday, and halfway through Thursday, just pay attention to make sure you're being loving to create more loving dimensional space and places where you want to exist. And then right there, inner child, the truth. The inner child is the way forward. So it's like there's this masculine, feminine frequency, and then there's the inner child, and that's the truth. This is what will set you free. What does your child want? What does your child want? And that is like so loaded, because it's like the child knows life purpose. The child knows what you can do for 9 hours. And at the end of that 9 hours, you don't look at it like work. You're still excited to talk about this thing. You're still excited to go out and buy whatever you need to get this thing done. It's not like, oh, work is done, I'm laying down, don't bother me. Like, this is that inner child joy. And that's what Spirit wants to validate and put more oomph into for us. Okay, so Spirit's letting us know this is a choice, and Spirit's letting us know the choices you made in the past do not affect right here where you are. And right here, message from other dimensional versions. You have the high ground. We all have the high ground. We have the high ground, but some people are deciding they don't have the high ground. Some people are allowing the past and what would happen in the past or the belief structure from the past to affect this present moment. So just sit with this, pay attention to this. Maybe today, Monday, or halfway through Tuesday, just pay attention to your thoughts. See who's coming up from the past, because it's like focus on the present and what it is that you want to do, and know that whatever happened before, unless if you're manifesting that, is not what needs to happen here. Be the immovable object of love up until Thursday, and make sure you're treating others how you want to be treated, or you're treating others better than how you want to be treated. And it is a choice, is what Spirit is letting us know. I'm excited to see the extended version of this reading with the patrons. But guys, this is what's been going on every day for me. Like, to just go back and touch base on the boundaries really quick. Anybody who's working on your throat and you're having difficulty with this, or you're needing information, that's what I'll say. And so that's before that and better with the having difficulty. Something that'll help. If you expect your loved ones, your family members, your friends, your people that are in your life to hold you accountable, if you say, okay, if I'm out of alignment, I want people to tell me. The second you say to yourself, if I'm out of alignment, I want my friends, I want my people, I want the, whoever's watching me online, be like, Alexander, what's going on today? Is, or you seem on edge. Therefore, you can hold your reality accountable. The second you say, my reality can hold me accountable, then you, by law, are allowed to hold the people in your reality accountable. And if it happens to trigger them, and you're coming across with love, and some of that love could be related to fury, which they're perceiving as anger. That doesn't mean be angry. It's like I said, sit with it, pause, and make sure that the feeling turns into the thoughts, and the thoughts turn into the proper words before you have an outburst. Okay? And I'm not saying outbursts aren't going to happen. I'm not saying we're not going to make mistakes. I'm not saying you're not going to want to kick something or punch a pillow or take a drive and go scream. But making sure that we're doing the best we can, and at least at the end of the day, asking ourselves, could I have done this better? Because if you could have done it better and you're not asking that question, how do we continue to evolve, and how do we continue to get to the next dimension after that, and the next dimension after that, and so on and so forth with our response, which is a word that would be interesting to break down. So yes, hold your reality accountable if you are willing to be held accountable, and you're not going to get triggered when people ask you what's here, what's there, or what are you doing there? Oh, that was mean. That was mean so-and-so, or whatever it is. If you're willing to be held accountable, then you have the right to hold your loved ones and your friends and your business partners accountable as well. So thank you so freaking much. Love you all so much. I'm going to go make a protein shake and break my fast. And I will see the patrons in about 18 minutes on Crowdcast. I love you all so much. There's gear. The magnetic clasps are on the Ultimate Field bracelet on crystalcurrent.com. If you can find a slot in my schedule, it's galactictarot.com and Galactic Tarot on Patreon if you want to really support the channel. I appreciate you all so much. Please please subscribe. More free readings will be here live right on the channel once we reach 2310 subscribers. I love you all so much. I hope you had a happy 666 portal. And I will see you very, very soon. Sending love from Sedona. Cheers.